So I've covered in a previous video that you can divide your training up into three parts. You've got the amateur, you've got the athlete, and you've got the coach. Now, you can name them whatever you want. I named them different things, one in an article, one in my previous video. Right now I'm going to call them those three things. Now, what you have to understand is the ideas behind them. The amateur is the person that does it for the love of it. For the most part is self-taught or under minimal instruction, is somebody who is just really into the idea and doing it. This is great. This is an extremely good learning tool. It's also the least productive learning tool functionally, because you're not getting the experience of of somebody who's been there. Now, in the level of the athlete, you do have a lot more guidance and whatnot. Problem is with the athlete, because you're in a predetermined program or predetermined activity, then you are going to be having your training and whatnot handed to you. Thus, meaning all your energy has to focus on is performance. It's great. It will really enhance your performance. You can internalize everything because you don't have to worry about teaching it to somebody else. You don't have to worry about inefficiency from trial and error. You get direct performance results. It's fantastic. It just doesn't provide a lot of internal growth. It only provides performance growth. Then you have the coach. In the previous one, I believe I called it the scholar. You have the person who has intellectualized it, who has been able to take what they internalized in their younger years and been able to externalize it. This is perhaps the rarest form. I mean, everybody wants to be a coach, but people who are good coaches are rare. So the idea is that somebody who can externalize what they've internalized, somebody who can bring out what they were able to perform and be able to teach it to somebody else is fantastic. Problem is that a lot of people get caught up in the coaching, in the academia of it, in the bookwork of it, in the research of it, and they lose the performance, they lose the intuition, they lose, kind of that wide-eyed wonder of the amateur. And most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, they're older and they've let their training lapse and they've lost the performance of the athlete. So dealing with that trifecta of things, you've got to start thinking about efficiency, because in order to learn something well, you have to have the energy of the amateur. You have to have the passion and drive of the amateur. But you need to be able to have the focus and integration of the performer, of the athlete. This is important because if you don't have all of that, focused experience, drive into your activity, then you're just an amateur going through trial and error. The athlete is generally going through tested and proven, or something that is a very reasonable, logical estimation by an experienced professional. Then you have to have the intellectuality of the coach and the ability to externalize it, because you realize that you learn things better when you are able to teach them. Every time I learn something, I learn it in such a way that I will be able to teach it to somebody else. If I just learn how to do something, that's fine, but that doesn't help me become a better coach, or a better sifu, or a better sensei, or a better trainer. It doesn't help me, because all I can do is do it. I can show it, but I can't explain it. So it's important. Have that passion and drive of the amateur. Have the focus and determination and and the research done of the athlete and the professional, and have the ability to teach and explain and understand of the coach. You have to have all three to truly be a well-rounded person, a well-rounded athlete, a well-rounded Kung Fu practitioner. And to that end, efficiency starts with habit. It starts with habit. You can do all the exercises in the world, physical and mental, but if you don't build the habit to do them well, you will always revert to your lowest level of mastery. And that's a dangerous and slippery slope. I can't tell you how many times I've entered a teaching gig and backslid into just being the academic because that's where I am most comfortable. You know, I haven't been solely the amateur since grade school. I never entered that realm of being the athlete under direction. I mean, there was a short period of time where I was under, coaching of somebody else and just listened and internalized. But for the last 10 years, everything that I have listened and been coached on, I automatically start turning over for how I will teach it, for how I understand it and am able to relay it. And so for me, the comfort is in the explanation, in the understanding, in the instruction. The role of the academic is where I'm comfortable. And I've, at periods, allowed the other sides to slide. Right now, I am in total amateur mode. And it's fantastic to be there again. I can't tell you how fantastic it is to be there again. And I've got the amateur mode and I've got coach mode going on right now. And I need to start bringing it into the athlete, the performer mode. I really need to start internalizing, again, re-internalizing the stuff that I've been able to explain and start directing the wildfire of my amateur inspiration. And I want you to take a look at your efficiency. I want you to take a look at that three-pointed diagram, that pyramid, and see where you are stronger and where you are weaker, and start directing a little more attention there and start creating habits that will drive you into a more balanced perspective. You'll always lean a little bit, and that's fine. But the best are well-rounded and have the greatest degree of balance between those 3 points. So understand that right now, I'm crazy wildfire amateur guy, and I'm focused laser coach guy, but I need to work on that in between, that acetylene torch, performance guy. So that's the thought of the night. Just wanted to share it with you. I will talk to you guys later. Examine your Kung Fu, whatever it is, whether it's martial arts, lifting athletics, whether it's academics, cooking, whatever. Whatever your Kung Fu is, look at that pyramid and see which way you lean and start directing attention and building habit there so that you can balance out. Talk to you guys later. Good journey.